This is Getting Past It, where real life meets real growth. I'm JR, and in 10 minutes or less, we're tackling thoughts, habits, and truths that hold us back. Let's get past it together.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy JR, host of Getting Past It, the podcast. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday. We are back. It's been let's say a week or so since I've posted a new episode. I've got to get the right wires and all that good stuff so the sound is correct. I got some new equipment, so got to fix a few things. But today we are going to talk about how to stay in your lane. How to strike back after every miss. Most of you, I'm sure, are aware that bowling is one of my favorite things to do. I simply enjoy being able to go to the bowling alley, practice, allows me to focus, be intentional, helps build resilience, all of those things. But how do you stay in your lane and strike back after life throws you the unexpected? It can be extremely difficult. You ever line up for a strike, for all my bowlers out there, and you go through your routine and you think, I have done everything that I typically do. Some people kiss their bowling ball, some rub it, some, might blow on their hand. They go through whatever their motion is. And you go out there, you get set up, you go through your approach, and you roll what you think is the perfect shot, only to leave pin standing. That can be super frustrating. But guess what? That's life, right? You can do everything right or feel like you've done everything right. And then there's a curveball. Life comes at you fast. Something happens. But you can't let that knock you off balance. That's just a part of life. It happens. Sometimes you're on fire, and sometimes you're picking up the pieces. You can feel like, man, I'm hitting on all cylinders. Every time I roll this ball down the lane, it's hooking just right. It's hitting the pocket. It's doing exactly what I wanted to do. But then you have those times where you feel like you're doing exactly the same thing and you just can't get it right. The ball's not hitting the pocket. You're coming across the head pin and you're leaving tens and sevens and all these crazy things that just cause you frustration. And what you have to do at that point is take a step back and understand that every day is not the same. Just like every lane is not the same. The oil patterns on the lanes change, which requires you at certain points to do different things. Maybe you have to move where you're lined up. Maybe you have to change how you're releasing the ball or where you're placing the ball, moving boards a couple of spaces. And in life, sometimes we have to make slight adjustments to our approach. Just because things don't go right, it doesn't mean throw everything out the window. What that means is take a step back, look at what's happening, and figure out what incremental steps you need to take to get back on track. Where do I need to move? Where do I need to adjust? Where do I need to refocus to make sure I get back on the right path? And enjoy that process, right? Because during that adjustment process, you're learning. You're learning how to move around. You're learning how to be nimble. You're learning how to be resilient. And there is growth in that learning. You just have to open your eyes to see it. Bowling teaches us how to focus. It teaches us patience and again, resilience. All the things that you need in life to succeed, right? I remember being young and going into the bowling alley and having no interest in really learning the game. For me, it was throwing the ball down the lane at the pins and let them fall how they fall. But as you get more into the game, then you start to learn all the different little nuances that you never thought about. All those different little colored boards mean something. Those arrows on the floor, or those markers, they mean something. Being able to look at your bowling ball after you release it while it's rolling down the lane and seeing what it does. That means something. When your ball comes back through the return, looking at the oil on the ball and seeing where it is, that means and tells you something. And with life, every step we take, there is a lesson. There is something to be learned. It's telling you something if you open your eyes to see it. When you go bowling, it's easy to get distracted by the people on the lanes next to you. You can't throw a strike looking at your neighbor's lane. I'm going to repeat that. You can't throw a strike looking at your neighbor, looking at what they're doing on their lane. You got to focus on you. Be locked in to your vision, your mission, what you're doing. Because if you're looking at somebody else, your attention and focus is not in the right place, especially when you're in the game. So you have to focus on what you are doing in that situation. In life, every time you step up to that line, be intentional, be mindful, be focused. Adjusting your approach teaches you to learn how to adapt. And we need to be adaptable in life, right? You throw the ball, it's hooking too high. You might take a step back to give it a little more time to get into the pocket. You're going through life and things are not lining up or adding up. Maybe you need to slow down a taste, right? Just to make sure you've got your ducks in a row. Maybe your pace is too slow and you're missing things because you're just behind the curve and you need to pick it up. But it's all about being able to adapt and adjust in those situations. Picking up spares is super important. In life, things are not going to always go right, but what are you going to do to change that? Sometimes you leave a couple pins after that first ball, and now you got to go pick up the spare or at least chase it, and that requires an adjustment. So, what are you doing when life throws you that curveball to get back on track? How are you adapting? Don't run and hide. Make minor adjustments, not wholesale change, right? Because everything's not wrong. With a few tweaks, you can get to where you're trying to go. It's not hard, but it is something you have to be mindful and intentional about. Last but not least, celebrate the game. Celebrate what you're learning through the process. Sometimes we go into these things looking for perfection, and that's not going to come. We're looking for progress. So pay attention to what you're doing, how you're growing, how you're building, and celebrate those things, those successes, even those failures. Celebrate the lessons that you learn in those failures. Listen, I'm JR, host of Getting Past It, the podcast, bowling enthusiast, 49er fan, all of those things. I hope you wonderful people have a great day. I hope this connected to you in some way. Get outside and be great. Peace.